Hello and welcome to Kanto Cast special NPA edition for the Season 4 NPA. If you don't know what that is, that's the Pokemon Wi-Fi League that I am in, and so we're doing a special series on that. It's been a little while. It's been a hot minute since we've done one of these. My greatest apologies to that. I've been dealing with some stuff. I don't want to talk about it right now, but I've been dealing with some stuff. But we're back, and we're going to be covering... I don't know. I feel like you guys are pretty well caught up over the last several weeks. A lot has happened. PAX took place. That came and went. I was sad I didn't get to go. And now we're looking at finally playoff picture type situations here after week 9, which I believe is already live. But I'm your host, Blue, if you didn't know, and I'm not doing it alone. Today we have a special guest host over here. You may know him as the NPA Hacks God, as I've been referred, or I've heard people refer to him as, including himself. And I played against that, so I can confirm it is pretty true. TheChoiceSpecs, say hello, friend.
Howdy world. Yes, the Hacks God is here.
So we're gonna be breaking down kind of, I guess, what's coming up in terms of playoff possibilities. I could go over the nitty-gritty details of, you know, what's happened weeks 6 through 8 at this point, but I don't think it's worth it, fam. You know who's potentially going to playoffs at this point. You know who's locked in. You know who's out. I don't think covering all of that nonsense makes a whole lot of sense. So we're gonna focus on the future, right, Specs? That's what we're gonna do.
Sure. Let's look ahead.
In addition, we're going to be covering one of the sexiest topics in Pokemon today, hacks, what it is, and why we shouldn't be so angry about it. Later. I guess. So look forward to that. A little teaser for you. So, that's where we're at. I guess, Specs, how you been doing, dude? I haven't talked to you since, what was it, week 7? 8? We played somewhere around there.
Don't lie to me. I've been in your streams. We talked.
It's true. That's true. I was trying to create like a backstory for the listeners who don't watch my streams, but that's okay.
No worries. I've been good.
We'll break the fourth wall right now.
All right. Yeah, I've been good. I am on a little bit more of a break than everyone else got, so we've had some scheduling conflicts. So I'm going to be doubled up, and actually, I think I have 2 fights today, or one today, one tomorrow, for my week 10 and 11 opponent, or 9 and 10. I mean,
see, that's kind of what happened to me. I had what did I have? I had 7, 8, and then week 9, which might also be considered week 10 because of the bye week that we had, all within 6 days of each other. Because my week 7 match was behind schedule, my week 8 was on schedule, and my week 9 or my week 10 game wanted to be ahead of schedule. And so I was just like, sure, let's do all of them right now. So that's pretty... I've never had to do like a double header though. 2 in 1 day. That's a lot.
Yeah, and guess what I get to fight back to back?
Scary things? I'm guessing scary things.
Mega Latios and then Mega Latios.
Ooh. You got a little Lottie twin action happening. I like that.
Yeah, and they're both megas. Great.
Well, at least they look similar.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't be that bad. So wait, who do you play?
Pokemon, John.
Oof.
And then Iron Boffin.
Oof.
Yep.
Bruh.
Pokemon's got a great record, so he's gonna be super tough. And then Iron Boffin whooped us last year, so it's gonna be a rematch.
I think I played Boff, did I not? The Rhydons? Yeah, I played Boff.
Yeah.
That was the fitting. That was the Mega Pidgeot confusion on Terrakion that everybody called hacks on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
I remember that fight.
I'm like, you didn't have to leave it in. Whatever. It's fine. I'm over it. That was weeks ago. No, if you can beat him, do me a favor, because I think he's in contestant for Gold Division. Yeah, he totally is. Oh god, no.
Well, yeah, I want the victory since it's a rematch. I need it.
You're hunting as well.
My entire division is hunting. There's only one person out and 5 in.
Oh, that's right. You're silver. All right. Well,
we're all hunting.
We're not gonna delay this anymore. Then we're gonna get right into it. Let's kick it off with the red division, which, as you just alluded to, is home of the New Orleans Pelipers and Pokemon, who is cleared. He's in, guaranteed. As is 6 Feet Hacks with the Durham Drudigans, and Cressel Key with the Adelaide Honchcrows, pending, of course, that Cress doesn't lose out, which I don't know if that's super likely given the record so far, but maybe. So those 3 teams are tentatively in. Are there any surprises there for you?
I'm more surprised at the outs, I guess. More so than the ends. I thought that would be at least, a little bit closer of a match in the red division as far as who was competing for those, number 2 and 3 spots. Obviously, Pokemon almost went undefeated, so that's not surprising that he's up there. But I figured, just from the start, looking at teams based before we actually got into battles, like Crimson Seabad's team scared me. So I figured, he'd be up there. And it's unfortunate that he's already out, but hopefully he still puts up a good fight and makes other people fight for their spots. And then Goffy's made a huge comeback, so I was surprised to see that he's out as well. And then the New York Neubats, I forgot what team that took over. That's not the original coach, correct?
That is not. That happened during the lapse period where Kanto Cast was not covering the NPA.
Gotcha. Okay. So I can't say I'm surprised or not surprised by that because I don't even remember what team that was before this.
Well, that's always a tricky situation, right? When you're a coach that's coming to fill in. This happened, if I'm remembering correctly, like halfway through the season. So it's tough to come in and pick up a team that you're not familiar with or didn't draft, and then B, you've already got a record either for or against you. And so you have to kind of continue or improve on that with a team you're not maybe the most comfortable with. So no slight there. But yeah, I was surprised about Crimson. But then I also wasn't surprised about Crimson because that dude was in 3 leagues at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, I mean, how much, like, you almost have to delegate your attention at that point I think he was doing really well in the GBA, and I think that was already going on. So if I'm him, and I have a solid record moving forward in a league that's like a third, half the way done already, I'm probably going to focus a little bit more on that than like the beginning of a league that's already starting, which was Season 4 for the NPA. And so, he got a couple wins in there. He was on a bit of a streak, which I'm familiar with. I had a bit of a losing streak too. Don't get me wrong, but that was rough. That was rough.
Yeah, I went on a small one and pulled myself, so I'm hoping to keep from going back into another losing streak. We'll see. We'll see how the Megaladios and Latias treat me.
I'm hopeful. I'm rooting for you. If that helps at all.
Yeah, man. Let's meet back in the playoffs.
Let's not.
Championship.
I don't want to deal with Jirachi again. That doesn't sound like a fun thing to me.
It sounds super fun.
I'll just if it comes down to us in the finals, I'll just be like, nah, you win. I'll call it. No, I wouldn't do that. There would be a lot of disappointed people in a situation like that, I feel.
Oh yeah, probably.
Oh hey, the finals. Oh, that guy just quit. God, what a loser! Can't believe it. Yeah, that would be me. So. Moving forward into the blue division, we only have one team that's in and one team that's out. We have the Montreal 2 Canadians, who, again, I believe was a fill-in coach a little early on in the season, stepping in as a replacement. They are out. The 2 Canadians are out. But the Minnesota Vikavolt are alive and well. Which is probably not surprising, given that they are defending champion. So, not too surprising there. What about the hunting? Those still looking.
None of those surprise me. Those are all great coaches. I have not fought Old Man Top, but I know he's a great battler. Galactic Elliot's my buddy. Once again, I've been in NPA now for 3 seasons, have yet to fight him. I don't know why that keeps happening. And also, great battler. I fought Vivid Color. He destroyed me with a Gligar, so that doesn't surprise me. And then Jodor, NPA commissioner, and we have fought twice. Once. And no, we fought twice. Season 2, we fought. He's beat me once, and I beat him once. So it's not surprising. All 4 of those are good coaches, good battlers.
It's kind of funny. I was talking to Tup a couple weeks ago, and he and I, if you go back and look through weeks 1 through 8, and possibly 9, I'm not sure if his stuff has been updated for week 9 yet. Or I guess whatever. So if you guys go through and you look at the weeks, Tup and I have a completely opposite record. Like,
you were destroying starting off, and he was losing starting off, and then you both flipped a little bit.
We keep exchanging tears, in a sense. I told him, I was like, we both can't win now, Tup. He's like, this is a conspiracy. I was like, I don't know about that, but the numbers don't seem to lie. But that's kind of crazy. I'm proud of him though. Like Tup has been around a while, and I know he'll also make jokes about his underwhelming records in the past. But the dude knows what's up. Like, he's got experience. And
yeah, I've watched several of his battles even before this, because I was prepping before we actually saw who our schedule was going to be. So I watched all the coaches' previous any kind of draft league battles, and I watched some of his and in other leagues. It was pretty good.
He's solid. You got that Mega B drill now.
Yes,
that's the real life. I didn't know true story. I didn't know anything about Mega B drill until I talked to Tup about it. I was like, oh my god, that's actually like a pretty solid mon. I was surprised.
Stat wise, it's a super glass cannon, but anything that doesn't resist it is going to either die or get hurt severely.
Dude, it's crazy. I didn't know it was that fast either. I had no clue. I felt like I've been living a lie the last 4 years. They come out in X and Y, was that 2016 or something absurd like that? That was a long time ago. So we got the Sableyes, the Pyratatas. Say it both ways just to appease everybody. Cubchus and the Seekings all looking to get in there for the blue division. I believe they're going to take the top 2 in each division, and then 2 wild cards.
Yeah, 2 wild cards.
Yeah. So that is
unfortunate.
That is
last season. It was the top 3, so it was a little easier to get the playoffs.
That's almost heartbreaking, honestly. But hey,
yeah.
Speaking of heartbreaking, let's move into the gold division, shall we?
All right.
We know tons about that. My dude Kelly, under the radar, clinching it. The Maryland Torterra Pins going in, easily securing a victory. I think they're like X and 1 at this point. I don't even know what they're. Let me look. Let me look what that wily young Bucks schedule is.
Yeah.
I
think them and John are the only ones that are 0-1 or whatever, or X and 1.
Yeah. So there you go. Well deserved. I mean, I played him. He's very good about playing the long game. So I'm genuinely not surprised to see him looking at a playoff spot.
Yeah, I fought him last season in the quarter semifinals. I made it to playoffs and then got to the next battle after the first playoff match, and it was against Kelly, and he destroyed me.
I was about to ask how that went, but
I think it was either a 3-0 or a 4-0. Like, it wasn't as bad, but it was pretty bad.
That's still respectable. I consider anything a 1-0 or a 2-0 pretty darn close. Like, could have gone either way. A 50-50 situation in that battle probably might have been able to change the outcome. 3-4, hey, you put up a good fight. 5 and 6-0, I personally don't feel good about myself after something like that.
Yeah.
And it's happened. So we got Poke and the Lancaster Cast Forms and Old School Sin and the Cedar Rapid Thunderous who are out, which is kind of scary, honestly, because that leaves the Swamperts, the Rhydons, and the Cocoa Puffs still in that hunting mode to get the second in for the Gold Division. Anything here surprise you?
Not really. I was just saying, no, Lindomar is a crazy battler. I also really like him just because he runs unique sets, which I always like to see. And then obviously you're in there. I was fearful of our battle. We both come from the BDC background, so I was, looking forward to our battle. I was hoping you bring some neat stuff. I try to run up some things different from the norm. And then Iron Buff and Big Pum. Not surprised by really any of these. Poke, he took over from a team that didn't have a great record, so not too surprised there. And then Old School Sin has had some pretty bad luck this season, so not too surprised to see who's in, who's out, and then who's still in the running.
Yeah, it's the more I look at it, I was like, because initially I was like, oh, I guess my division isn't that bad. Nah, it's pretty strong. The Gold Division's pretty tight race, similar to the Blue Division. There's a lot of pressure on the line. And to make it worse, for those of you at home not following along with the Gold Division, the Cocoa Puffs and the Swamperts got to play Week 12. So,
you got this, man.
Pokemon's a young man's game. My heart can't handle this. Like, this is too much pressure. It really can't. But hey, it's going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting. I hope you beat Boffin. No offense to Boff. Great dude. We had our skirmish in the past with the Mega Pidgeot and the Terrakion and everything in between. But I really don't want to play him again. So if you could do your best to potentially get it out there. Although I'm not sure how that works. I think is there some kind of clause where if there are two people in the same division in the running for that slot, does it go to the person who potentially beat the other? I remember.
Yeah, it goes off of your overall differential, your win to loses, and then your divisional matchups, I think.
Okay.
Like the 3 scores. So yeah, if you beat him and you had the same divisional record, I think that would put you ahead.
Well, that's comforting. That means I really got to beat the Swamperts, I think. That's what that means. Oh, God. What's life without a little bit of pressure? Yeah, that's the proper way to explain it. Division record. I was just bumbling around looking for words because I don't sports so good. But, that said, let's get into another fairly hotly contested division. And that...
Fairly?
That's the Silver Division. That's the last of our 4. And this...
I would say it's the most contested division.
There's nobody...
There's no one in.
There's nobody left. There's one team that's out, and that is King Bub and the Munchlaxter United. But go ahead and break down the teams that are still scrapping it out.
Well, we got Swami / Frostfire, since Swami unfortunately had to leave us, and his assistant coach took over. Colorado Rapidash, I believe, #1 in the division currently, way up there. Swami is an amazing battler. I'm sad to see him go. Definitely, I always talked about whenever I had to fight him. It's a horrible experience because it's so scary how good he is. Like, I would say he's not the best battler in the league, but to me, he's definitely the smartest battler in the league. He seems to always know what every opponent he fights is going to do before you make the moves and everything. So it's scary to see his prediction game. So I'm not surprised whatsoever to see him up in the running. And then Frostfire, unfortunately, I haven't seen a battle yet that he's since he's took over. But being his assistant coach and working with him, I imagine he's probably up there with Swami. Papa C, New York Clinks. I did manage to best him, which I think I was one of his only losses. So it's also scary seeing him do so well. I have to keep trying to do better. Otherwise, I'd be facing him again, and he knows some of my tricks now. And then we got the exception, his rain team, super scary. I know people were giving him crap for picking Pelipper round 1, but he had an idea to build a rain team, and that team is terrifying. Just looking at it on paper, it is terrifying. And then Kyle and the Miami Dolphins bringing it back. Started off a little rough streak as well, and then just has been on a winning streak since, I think. And then there's me.
And then there's you. Yeah. How do you feel about your odds or your chances in?
Since it's top 2 instead of top 3, I don't feel as great, but I'm up there. Depending on how these next 2 matches go, if I win both, I'll be second in our division. If I lose both, depending on how badly I lose, I could stay in the exact same spot I'm in right now in third. Just be based off of differential. So it's a 50-50 chance.
So you're on the cusp of bubbling.
Yes.
Great. Any VGC player worth their salt knows the terrifying threat of the bubble. So I'm probably in a similar situation. Let me look, because I might be.
Yeah, I'm in
a very similar situation. This is not good. No, oh god, this is my worst fear. Well, not my worst fear, but similar recurring fears come to life right now. Like, oh hey, who's that guy who plays 17th? Just missed top cut by like 0.5%. No, that was
yeah. I think you're gonna have to 5-0 the Swamperts to tie them.
Great. I'm looking forward to that.
You got this.
That'll be great. Awesome. Well, if you had to pick one team in the silver, since no one's locked for the silver, and those greedy Reds are 3-4 in at this point, what would you say? Yourself excluded, because I know you are obviously the pick for the silver division. But if you couldn't pick yourself, who would you say is most likely a lock to come in for the silver?
Since Swami stepped down, like, no offense to Frostfire, I just don't know anything about him. Or her. I don't even know if it's a him or a her. My bad. I would say New York Lynx, Papa C. Just because he has the same record right now as the Colorado Rapidash. And then even though I beat him, he's a very, very, watching all of his other battles. I've watched every one of his battles since our fight, and it's scary. He has a really good prediction game. I run weird stuff, so his prediction game on me was not good, and that's what helped me win. Same with last season. I beat him with a TheChoiceSpecs Pyroar. Actually swept with Pyroar last season, which no one expected. Everyone gave me crap for picking Pyroar. And he was my... It's funny, Pyroar was my MVP last season. He had the most kills with the fewest deaths, which I think he had 1 death and like 9 or 11 kills or something. It was crazy.
That's a good pick.
So Papa C. New York Clinks is my... If I had to pick one, that's going to make it.
Clinks is a good in. That's a good pick. I'm proud of you. That was good. That was a lot of good reasoning, too.
Yeah. The second would be Rapidash, just because Swami did so much work, it's going to be hard to mess that up.
Fair. That is very true. So that's the playoffs picture that we're kind of looking at, fam. That was the first half of the show. Do me a favor. Whether you're listening to this on the NPA YouTube channel or you're listening to this on the Kanto Cast RSS feed, your favorite podcast app, what have you. Let us know somewhere in the internet, on the comments, on the Twitters, wherever you feel inclined. Who do you think is a lock for the rest of the remaining divisions? Let us know. We're getting interactive. This is 2018 after all. We got to be interactive. Otherwise, we're taking a step back, so that's no good. So let us know who you guys want to see in the finals now that we have, or at least the playoffs, rather, now that we kind of have a decent-looking picture of who's going to kind of be there. That silver division, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, go me.
Lord. I believe in you. I do. Even though your Jirachi makes me hate pretty much everything.
Jirachi makes everyone hate everything about Jirachi.
So let's talk a bit since we got a little more time here. Let's talk about hacks. The indisputed no talk of Pokemon. Everybody is very quick to blame it when things don't work in their favor, and they're very quick to ignore it when things do benefit them. And then, you know, they had a little bit of luck, and they're not as willing to own up to that. Let's start off easy. How do you feel about hacks?
I love it. You got to embrace it. It's part of the game. It's not going away. You got to embrace it. And you know how I was with you. Like, I felt bad. Like, I knew I had a good chance of it happening, and it was definitely going to help me if I got those 2 flinches, but I felt bad. And then I didn't feel bad when I got those 2 sleep misses. Like, I was like, I no longer feel bad about those 2 flinches.
So looking at that situation particularly, like I know when we played, I had just finished doing the was it the March International Challenge? Must have been. Yeah, it was March. Which, if you guys don't know at home, that's like a VGC tournament online battle spot that runs like the weekend. And so, you know, Battle Spot is Battle Spot. If you've ever been on Battle Spot, you know it's one of the most hellacious places on the planet, where all of the hacks things that could possibly happen to you are definitely going to happen to you. Like getting double flinched 3 times in a row by an enemy rock slide. That literally just happened to me not 20 minutes before I played TheChoiceSpecs here. And so I knew going in that, like, okay, well, he's definitely going to bring Jirachi. There's no way that he's not going to bring Jirachi. But I had, you know, a weakness policy rock polish set on Rhyperior, and it was ready. He was up and ready to roll. Jirachi turned out to be Choice Scarf, so I was like, well, guess I'm going to have to deal with this then. 2 flinches in a row. And I mean, from my perspective, it made more sense for me to risk the 60-40 odds and get flinched, or stay in with my Rhyperior pretty much set up, not withdraw it, and like lose my weakness policy set and have to try and rock polish again.
Yeah, it made sense. Yeah, if I didn't get one of those flinches, Jirachi would just die instantly.
Oh yeah, I got low rolled too. I don't know if you knew that. I went back and did calcs.
Or the Z move.
Oh yeah, it was bad. It was pretty bad. It was like
a old Jirachi.
It was like a
salt.
It was like a 6% low roll odd that I hit. Like it was pretty disappointing. But yeah, I mean that was just part of the experience. And I mean, while it might seem that hacks would dictate a match, I would argue, feel free to jump in, Specs, that the player's adaptation to what's happening in the moment has a much bigger outcome effect than necessarily a random happening in a turn. Now that might change based on like what turn the game is in. Like if it's 2v3 after like 60 turns and somebody gets a lucky crit, like okay, I'll give it up for that. That's a really unfortunate thing. But if it's still relatively early in the game, and I think between us, the Jirachi Rhyperior issue was still relatively like mid to early in the game.
Yeah, I think we both still had 4 or 5 mons when that happened.
Yeah, I think reacting and deciding what to do moving forward makes a slightly bigger impact rather than just being like, well, I got haxed.
Yeah, I agree. I am the hacks god, the hacks magnet. It works both ways, you know. I give out the hacks and I taketh the hacks, and I have to play around it. Like obviously, when it goes in my favor, it's nice, and then when it goes against me, I'm not salty about it. It just happens. That's the only reason I drafted Jirachi first turn was because of last year. So many people called my wins on hacks. So I was like, well, I got to up the hacks this year. And I almost second turn. Well, no, I got Dragonite. But third turn, when I picked my fairy, I almost picked Togekiss just to up the hacks more.
I would have died. I would have actually died. Just so you know.
I almost went for 2 Serene Grace users on the same team. It would have been beautiful.
So to that end, you bring up an interesting point. The stigma that comes with hacks, right? Should it should it play such an impact that it takes away from one player's win? Like, you can definitely blame hacks on a loss. Like I said, there's, like, you can prepare for a lot of things, even Serene Grace users. But unless you're running, like, Lucky Chant, or, like, Shell Armor, I think is what it is. Like, if you get crit, you just get crit. And there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah. You can't prepare for crits unless, like you said, you have the ability that negates them or whatever, but it's just part of the game, and it's very hard to prep for.
So should one person, and you've had experience with this, should one person who gets lucky, should their wins be taken away or seen as lesser compared to somebody who hasn't been as lucky?
I don't think so. Especially like if you know one battler is better than the other, you know, obviously anything in their I can help them out is going to be greatly appreciated for that person. But I don't think so. I guess it just depends on where it happens, like you said. Like especially if like you get any kind of hacks in the first couple of turns, I don't think that it's really that should not impact the battle almost whatsoever. If your whole strategy relies on the first couple of turns, you're not battling right.
It's an excellent point. And I have had a situation like that where I was like, all right, this is what I have to do. We're currently in turn 3. It's a bummer that it's come up right now, but this is the play I have to make. And then an unfortunate situation pops up, and I get crit, and I'm like, well, now my health is gone, and I can't switch out and come back in on this, so I guess that's on me for risking my plan. Whoops. I think there has to be a point where the player themselves kind of looks internally and says, was there something I could have done to either A, better prep for a situation that I knew was possible, or B, maybe not have played so loosey-goosey, as it were, and risked a potential major or solitary win condition, knowing that it was that important.
Yep. I agree there.
I don't know. Like, this is a situation where I've been in other leagues, or I've done a league or two before, but I've never had this many eyes on it, and I feel like people are so quick to jump at the hacks, to blame the hacks.
They are for sure.
Like, it's almost like the hacks is an excuse for any and all out. And I don't think people are looking internally enough, or, you know, some people just don't potentially understand how certain archetypes are played, maybe we'll say. But I don't know. Vent your frustrations for me. What kind of hacks frustrations do you have?
Like I said, I embrace it, so I honestly don't have much. Like last season, I obviously did pretty well. I think I went 9-5 or something like that. I made it to the semifinals, the quarter semifinals. I went to semifinals, made it past the first round, and then second round I was up against Kelly, and obviously it wouldn't have cost me the game, but I missed 2 toxics that game, like on big things, like a Jellicent, and then a setup, I think Mega Charizard X. So those could have changed the tide of the battle. I don't know, but I wasn't salty about it. Like it just happens. I made it to the quarter semifinals, getting hacks and being hacked, because on the games that I also got hacks called onto me, I also got froze 2 games in a row. But yeah, so 10% freeze happened to me 2 games in a row.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and I was like, and people are calling hacks on me. What is happening?
So, I don't know if this is breaking or not, but I just saw a tweet come through. Evidently, 6 Feet Hacks has won the APA.
Oh, nice.
It's official as of 28 minutes ago. As I'm getting the tweet coming in, we're getting some off the cuff news here. How do we feel about that?
That's the Durham Jotagons, right?
It is, yeah.
I don't think I have to fight him, so congrats.
Yep, that is the Dragons. All right, so they are. Oh, they're already in. Just kidding.
Yep, they're in, and I don't have to fight them unless we go to playoffs. So, congrats, man! We got another league champion
Well,
in this league.
I thought that was going to be way more exciting. Damn, I missed it. Oh well. Well, now they're chasing another title. What are you gonna do? Congrats to him and the Durham Druddigans. If that is the same team,
he's going to be going for a back-to-back championship title wins in the same season.
I would make a tennis reference right now, but I don't know that anybody follows tennis, and it's literally the only sports thing I got.
Go for it.
But he is well on his way to becoming the Roger Federer of Pokemon.
Yeah, it's over my head.
Nobody's got it. That's okay. I understand. Everybody is about to like light me up in the comments. Who's that? He plays tennis. All right, just go with it. It's fine. So hey, there it is. I didn't mean to derail from the hacks talk, but
you're fine, man.
I think in general, we all just need to like let the hacks hate go. It's part of the game, as you have said. I don't know, man. Like it's okay to be salty about it. I don't want you to feel like, oh well, I'm being salt shamed right now. No, that's not it.
No, you can be upset that it's happening. Just don't hate your opponent for it.
Yeah, it's never made sense to me.
Yeah, let's just say it's. I mean, it doesn't say it's not his fault, but it sure is when it comes to me with my serene grace flinches.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there are Pokemon built to do that kind of nonsense. Basically, yeah. Togekiss and Jirachi. Those are the two that I think are synonymous with maybe not intentional hacks, but pretty darn close to intentional hacks.
Yeah. When you have a 60% chance in your favor of flinching, yeah, you're more upset when it misses. So yeah, and obviously I named Jirachi Salt because I knew it makes people salty. So
I did. I
embraced the hacks. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
We had an exchange afterwards.
We had an exchange during.
I know. I was already on Salt. Like I said, like I had been playing the International Challenge on stream for, I don't know, probably an hour and a half before this. And like you guys want to talk about nonsense. The last team I played in the International Challenge was a power swap. What is that thing? Chansey with the Carbink. That's what it is. And it was using Minimize and Defense Curl.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's what I played. So everybody out there in your draft leagues who are like, oh, Jirachi. No, you don't know how good you have it, okay? VGC players have to deal with a lot, all right?
Yeah, we don't have Smogon rules where we can ban those things.
There's no evasion clause in that. It's like the Wild Wild West, man. You just got to deal with what you find. It was a nightmare. I was playing Jeremy. I don't remember his last name, but he was like the Dallas top cut or no, he won what did he win? He won Florida with I think an Eevee Boost team, but he was the originator of this Chansey cancer that people are probably referring to it as. And I got to play the originator, so that felt great. So it's real. Side note, I had been running Mega Lucario just to handle that type of situation, because Aura Sphere gets stab adaptability and it never misses, and Flash Cannon can pretty much one-shot a Carbink. So I did not have Mega Lucario in that particular instance, which was not great. But there again, you run the risk. Is my opponent going to do some kind of Chansey shenanigans? Should I be overly prepared for something like that? Yeah, and then there's timer rules and everything on top of that. Case in point, be happy that you just have to deal with some flinches every now and then, or like, I don't know, what misses? Hot jump kick? I don't know if you guys saw the Week 9 match between Jodor and I, but I had an unburdened Hitmonlee set up to like sweep, and he missed a high jump kick onto a Kyurem Black. So, that was great. Like, these things happen. They just, it's so dumb. I'm still upset about that, actually. I just remembered it, and now I'm upset again.
Yeah, and that's some stuff you can prep for as well to make that happen even more. You know, if you know you're going to be running against high jump kick, you run protect. It's fun.
Oh god, I didn't want to think about that.
It happened with me on the. I took over season 2, a different team, so I didn't draft it. And it was a horrible team, but I had Mega Lopunny, so I had that going for me, and I knew that fighting this Ferrothorn, it was going to be running protect or something for me. So I scouted out instead. He went for protect. I went for substitute. Put it in my favor now, and it was great. It was a great play. But so there's some things you can prepare for that. But yes, the missing is horrible. Obviously, you didn't miss because of a protect, but yeah,
no. It hurt. It hurt my pride as a person, if I'm being honest. So you know. We run close combat from here on out because we're super paranoid about how jump kick. That's what happens. You got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, I'm paranoid to run sleep powder on Venusaur now, so I probably won't for the rest of the season.
Don't do it, man. I've seen sleep powder miss in very what was it, the Latin American Championships last year, I think, for VGC. Not to go off on the VGC tangent, but sleep powder missed twice in the finals, I want to say, with Lilligant on the Torkoal Sun team. Not great. Not a great time to be a Pokemon player when that happens.
It's but brutal.
You know, case in point, take the good with the bad. Be happy with what you got. You can't prepare for everything. Sometimes Pokemon, like, I'm convinced sometimes Pokemon just doesn't want me to win. You know? Like, if it's going that poorly, and I feel like I'm still playing well, I'm just like, well, Pokemon clearly thought that I was undeserving of today's game. And so our Poke Overlords have deemed me to lose this game, and so I have to be okay with it.
RNGesus giveth, RNGesus taketh.
Exactly. Well, I think that's an okay spot to wrap up. I know this was kind of a quickie, but like I said, I've had a lot going on. I didn't want to leave it high and dry, so close to playoff pictures happening. So I hope you guys got a little bit more filled in on that. If you missed the Twitter announcement, I don't know that there will be an analyst video about the playoff picture going live on the NPA YouTube channel, but why don't you go over there and check it out just to be safe. You can always click subscribe. It's free. You know, I'm pimping out somebody's channel right now, and it feels okay. It feels all right. You may also be listening to that on this channel right now, so just, you know, pop on up there and hit the subscribe button if you haven't. And then, of course, you know, a lovely conversation of hacks. Thank you to TheChoiceSpecs for joining me on that journey of ups, downs, and good lord, what state the silver division is in right now.
No problem, man. Happy to be here.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for listening. For TheChoiceSpecs, as always, I am Blue, and I will catch you next time.
Bye.